Hey there everyone, this is Mystic Fish and welcome to episode 18 of our Factorio series where we are designing an expandable base. Last episode we worked out how to do blue science in a single production column, and in this episode we're just going to continue on and we'll be working on purple science in this episode. So let's clear out our workspace here. And let's start with a factory plan. So we're going to do purple science. And we are going to produce purple science. We're going to start with 1350 science per minute. Turn on the matrix solver. And then let's click in our ingredients here. Now, one of our viewers, Paistro, noted that we could actually just leave the raw ingredients up here and not actually bring them in, which I think is a good idea. We are going to smelt steel plates outside in our smelting columns. Same with stone bricks. So we will leave those up here as inputs, the raw iron plates, but we will produce plastic here, copper cables, coal will be an input, copper plate will be an input, and petroleum gas will be an input. So this is where we end up. Now, as we have seen in our prior builds, we really want to try to keep things to half belts if we can. And one of the main features of production science is the number of rails that have to be produced. So half of a blue belt is 1350 items per minute. So we clearly need to scale down so we can fit all of our rails into half a belt. That'll help us with our belt management as we do the design. So first off, we currently have 1350 science per minute here. We want 1350 rails per minute here, and we have to divide by the current amount, 9643, and that says we need to scale our science down to 189. So let's do that. Okay, now let's double check. We want everything to be less than 1350. So these are all good on the inputs. In terms of intermediate products, there's exactly our half belt. These are all small. These are all small. Okay, this one is big for copper cables. Now, if we look at the copper cables for the red circuits, we see that does fit on half of belt, so that is okay. And the copper cables for green circuits don't, but we only have one assembly machine for green circuits, so I think we can actually direct insert the copper cables into the green circuits and it will be okay. We don't need to squeeze them on a belt. So that looks okay. All right, so now if we do that, how many of these builds do we need? So we start with 1350, we divide by the 189, and that gives us 7.14. Now, we're going to have to round this up so that we get to the full 1350 that we need. So it's going to be 8, which means that we may be able to scale this down slightly. I don't know if this will actually scale down. We don't really have very many machines in here anyway, but it will make it easier, I think, for us to tune things. Gives us a little more leeway. So if we divide this by 8, that tells us our target should actually be 169. We have to round up to make sure we get to the full 1350. So we're going to target 169. Okay, and that, as I thought, it didn't really change much in here. Okay, but this is going to be our targets. Now, as I think I said last episode, it gets finicky trying to figure out how to wire all this stuff in and around to make the belts work out. So it took me, again, a little bit of, I don't know, finagling around off camera to figure out how to do this. So I think I have a good plan put in place. I do not have it all written down, so this will be partially off of remembering what I worked out. But again, I do want to point out that there is some off-camera work that we've done to make sure we can make this work. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I think I want to do the rails first. And that is partially because we only need the stone for the rails. And we can, I'm pretty sure, direct insert, we only need one assembly machine for the sticks. And at a rate of 603 items per minute, if we do that in items per second, that's 10 items per second. And a stack inserter can do 27 items per second. So this is fine. We can direct insert the sticks here. I'm going to do the sticks second because they need iron, and we will need iron later anyway for the green circuits. So it's okay to have it second, and we can direct insert this direction. And if we do the rails down here, that gives us a couple of advantages. One, it means that we can bring the stone right up the middle and then not have to worry about how it weaves up the sides here. So let's bring our half belt of stone. Let's see. We are going to need now steel coming in for the rails. And I'm going to pair those with, I'm going to pair the steel with the stone bricks that we need for the electric furnace. Those are the rails and the electric furnaces are the only places that need steel. So what we're going to do is we're going to get steel in here. Let's put these like this. And then we just kind of need to, we'll put the stone bricks in here. We're just going to need to sort of, after we get the steel for the rails, we're just going to have to kind of stuff this to be used later in the production change. So we'll put this on one of these inner rails. We need the outer rails for inputs and outputs of things. And then on this side, we're going to need copper and iron, which we'll put together. We need those together for the circuits, so they might as well stay together. And that gives us iron for the sticks. So we got iron in, we got steel in, we got stone in, and now we need to do outputs. Actually, I think I'm going to change this around a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is, no, wrong way, this way to here. That way we can grab the steel here. And then because there's nothing going on this side, we can do our belt routing up here on this side. And then that will let us, I want to get our rails output on this side. And I want them to come on the inside. So in order to, and then we want to tuck them away. So I think that means we want them to kind of come out here. Maybe we need to move these. Okay. Or what I said about like, not sure I have these worked out right. Okay. Let's do this. And we can get the steel in here. These can go up to 4 so that we can downgrade them to yellow belts. Okay, now this gives us enough room, I think, for the outputs that we want. Which, I think we want, we can actually do, could we do this? Bring them here. And then start putting them on the inside there. Okay, that lets us get 2 outputs on this side. That will dump the rails onto the inside here, so that's good. And then And then the question is, could I also get it like this and get 3 outputs worth of rails? I think that looks good. Okay, let's get some power in all of this stuff. And, oh, we are not getting the iron in up here, so we do need to hop this like that. All right, we want to see rails coming in on the inside here with all of these. And they are. Okay, great. All right, I think that's rails. Next up, I think for the remaining intermediates, the electric furnaces and the productivity model, they both need red circuits. So I think we want to do a build that's similar to what we did before for the red circuits. So we're going to get the plastic out of the way. And this is for 2 reasons. One is, if we can get the coal up here, we can get the coal in and then not have to worry about what we do with the coal after that. So in order to do that, it looks like we could get coal in up here. So let's get some coal. I guess getting it on the inside is a little better. That makes sure that we can still grab it there, but then it's not in the way of any outputs. And then let's do this little trick here. So we'll say, give me the coal to the left, and if we put this right here, that will swap the steel and the stone bricks to the inside, which is good. That's where we want it, because we need this later, but we don't need this right away. So we want to put it on the inside. That's where we're putting stuff we don't need right away, is on these inner belt lanes. Okay, and then we also need to get petroleum gas in here. And so let's see. Okay, this can go pretty far down here. Okay, so I think what I want to do is take all of this stuff and just back it up. This is all like belt weaving business anyway. Okay, and then this wants to come down to here. I guess I can come back to here. Right, and then we need to hop this like that. Okay. And we put that there, and then we get our petroleum gas. Petroleum gas. All right, petroleum gas is in. This is not quite what we want. Because we need to continue hopping this across like that. Okay, so that means we need to move where this is. And so then the question becomes, can we actually get it in here? I wonder if it's actually better to do it over here like this. This is, we're already going off the rails, by the way, from what I had originally designed. So that can go there. That gets us that in there. Then we can get coal in like that. And then we want plastic. I guess we have to do this to get the plastic in. And so we need this to go here, We need these to continue. And then we can get plastic out. Okay. That means this is just regular belt down here. All right, we're getting plastic. Okay, good. All right, next up is green circuits. So if we take a look at items per second, each one of these produces 23.44 copper cables per second. That's slightly more than what we need to direct insert. So we're going to need two machines for copper cables direct inserting into the green circuits. So we can do that like this. All right, we get green circuits like that. Copper cables in like this. You need copper cable, you need copper, you need copper, you need iron. Okay. That all looks good. Let us get some power in this stuff. Okay, that gets those up there. And then, let's see, we need to make sure that we can continue bringing our stuff along. So that's okay. That's okay. All right, and then we need a copper cable for the red circuits. Oh, okay. All right. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, so now here's where we get a little bit of trickiness. You're gonna need to hop some more. This is the end of where we need the iron. Iron is only needed for green circuits and sticks, so we're done with iron here. And then the copper is only used for copper cables, so the copper is also done here. So we can get, whoops, wrong way, copper in like this. And then to get the copper cables out, we can do this. And here's where we're going to do a little bit of a trick. So that will put, this puts copper cables on the outside so they can slide into this underground, then they'll be on the bottom here, which means they can slide in here, and then they'll be on the inside coming out here. Now, this is a little tricky. When you direct insert into an underground and the inserter is parallel to the underground, it puts the items on the right side in the direction of travel. So that's going this way, and so the right side will be the bottom. So this will also put things on the bottom, which will allow them to come across. If we try to do this on the opposite side, it wouldn't work, because if we were trying to go this way, for example, and stick stuff, copper cables in like this, the right side in the direction, so the direction of travel is this, the right side in the direction of travel will be the top. And so when we try to do this, it will run into the wall of the underground here. So that wouldn't work. So this is one of the things that I figured out, was I have to put these copper cables out on the left side so that I can do this trick and preserve space. Like this is the level of weirdness we're getting into. Okay, so these need to continue for red circuits. And right, we have all the ingredients for red circuits. How many machines do we need? 6. So let's get some red circuits. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, this is actually placed perfectly. Okay, so this is gonna come up here. This is gonna come up here. We need to continue these along. And now we just have enough room for copper cables in, red circuits out. And so then we will need to do that all the way for all of these. one more. And on this side, we need plastic and green circuits in. We are done with plastic and green circuits here. And so let's bend that just in case we need, I guess we don't know we need to bend that yet. Okay, now let's get power. So power can be had, let's see, I need 2 spots in here. So I guess we should do these along the top. That will mean we can continue doing this. Does that get all the way through? It does, good. Now we need to provide power over here. So, will this work? Yes. I guess we don't have to worry about that because we could do it here. Okay, that gets power all those. Then we continue our undergroundy stuff here. Okay, that's power to everything. That's red circuits out for everything. Okay, and let's see. I think let's move these 1 square north, because then we can screen out. We're done with the plastic, but we still need the green circuits for the modules. So we need to screen out the plastic. So that will be green circuits left. Put that in there. Good, that gets rid of the plastic. Now, let's see. I guess we have to move this down. This is okay. We can get power to these. We do that. Okay, good. So we got power. And let's see. That's 3. So I can do 1 more. Scooch it up. And then that means I can get this underground here. It's okay if they come on both sides here, because that will... Okay, good. All right, next. Next, we're going to have electric furnaces. All right, so we need to do a couple of things here. And this is a place where I ran into like belt stuff. So we need to accomplish the following things. One is we need to move this belt to the outside so that we can stick the electric furnaces on the other side of the rails here and put those together so they're ready for purple circuits. We have maxed out our distance here. So the problem is electric furnaces, if we look at the recipe, they take a lot of steel and a lot of stone bricks. And so I think we need to get first off, we need to get these to the outside, and then we need to get them to a place where we can get 2 inserters in here. So I want to see if we put let's see how we're doing on beacon alignment here. Okay, so these are all beacon unaligned, which is what we want. We want this to continue being beacon unaligned. We can scooch it up 2. So this is a spot where it's like, I need extra room. I need extra room in here to get this working. So I think what I can do is I can hop these like this. That lets me get the red circuits in. And then I can do this. Although I suppose that is equivalent to doing this. And then I can get 2 inserters in like that. Okay, but now we have to look at beacon alignment here. So, the question is, this one will only get 6 beacons. This one will have 8. So the question is, are we okay with that? If we're on items per second, so this generates 23. We need to get 27 total. If I change this to an average of 7, they're still producing 23.4, so 2 will still cover it. So that's fine. It's fine for this one to only have 6. Okay, but let's check the plastic. If we make this 6, okay, now we're slightly more than 1 chem plant, but I think we can accommodate or compensate for that by sticking a speed module in. Okay, so now we're down under 1 again, so that's okay. And everything else is at 8. Okay, so this is good. All right, so this gives us the room that we need for the electric furnaces. So let's get power. So we can do that like that and that. Sure. Okay, then next we have modules. We need 2 things for modules. 1, 2. Prod modules. All right, you only need green and red circuits. So we can do that. And then we want to output, we want to get them on the inside of this belt here. So I think what we want is, if we can get the outputs here, we can do this trick as usual. That gets, and let's see, that means the outputs have to go here. And then this is exactly 4, so we can hop this stuff across. Okay, that's good. All right, so that's making prod modules, which should hopefully end up on the inner belt. And now we're ready for purple science, and so we need 3 purple science. Okay, this is purple science. All right, now we're going to need a lot of rails. So I think that means we need 2 inputs for each inserters just to get all the rails and other stuff in here. And then on this side, we're going to need prod modules in, purple science out. Okay, that gets us all power. I guess if we slide this, we'll just leave it there. All right, then we need to filter the purple science out to the left. Then we'll do our regular go catch these so we can see everything in action. It appears we're making purple science. So that's good stuff. Okay, now I think we're ready to beaconize this thing. So let's get our, looks like I need some speed 3s. Stick those in there. Need to come down to here. And these come up this way. And one more. Yes. Okay, then I need to copy this. Put it here. Nope, that doesn't fit because my fake inputs are too close. Paste, scroll back in the buffer. We go there. Okay, we need power over here. And we need power up here. Okay, and now we need productivity 3 modules, so those go in those. We go in these. that one. But here, we only want 2 in here. And then our 1 speed module. All right, let's see how we're doing here and whether we have any bottlenecks. All right, so we're currently waiting on red circuits to catch up here for the prod modules. Okay, we are getting red circuits into here. What are we expecting? All right, 1.5. So we're only really expecting this to work 60% of the time. And I think we are looking to see if are these all working full time? This is almost working full time. It's better if we can get the copper cables to catch up here. We expect this one to only be working 20% of the time though, so is it? That's a good question. How's this guy doing? Okay, so he's occasionally input bound. I think, since the copper is coming up the outside, I think we can actually speed this up just by putting an underground. Okay, that's looking better. We're getting backed up here. It's hard to see the copper cables coming through. Where are they coming? Here's where they're coming through. All right, so I don't know. We're pulling some off here. So we can't see the copper cables coming through to see if we're actually getting a full half belt out. We'll see. Let's see if we just let this run sometimes. Okay, we're starting to buffer up some more copper cables here. I think that's okay. All right, what else are we doing? How are we doing on rails? We are getting an unbroken stream of rails, so that is good. All right, so this whole rail business is successfully compressing a half belt of rails, which is good. And then, yeah, we're still waiting on the red circuits. I want to see the red circuits start to back up here, maybe. Oh, we did. Okay, so the red circuits are starting to back up. Okay, that is a good sign. So we do have enough red circuits. Those are backing up here. That's good. Okay, and I think what we do is we check our production stats. We are not getting the 169 we're hoping for. Okay, so what are you missing? You're really missing prod modules. Although maybe now you're starting to catch up. It's really this last one, is whether it's getting prod modules. It looks like it is now. It should be the case that when we saw red circuits back up here occasionally. The other thing is we can see the electric furnaces are backing up here, which means the electric furnaces will not grab as many red circuits once its output backs up. Like that, and so more red circuits should be able to get through. And then they start to back up again. Okay, so this is really a kind of like on average kind of thing. You really need both of the, if both of these are working, then this guy gets the prod modules at that. Okay, so let's take a look again. Yeah, this is like, it's getting up high. All right, so the question is this just how it has to work? Yeah, you're still waiting on copper cables. It might be nice if we could figure out how to get a third output here. Ooh, ooh, which I think we can. Because I think we can do this. And this can be moved up one. And we can get power in here. Now we can get 3 outputs on the copper cables. Okay, now it's output bound. Mostly. This is going 4, so we can't move it. Okay, is that helping us get more copper cables down to here? It sure seems like it. Okay, good. So that should help us keep the prod modules running. Right, now prod modules are running and electric furnaces are running because we've got this guy is making up the difference, and this guy gets enough copper cables now. All right, that's good. Now let's check the production stats. Production stats, 1 minute. Obviously we have to wait till this lower part gets off the graph while we were tinkering around with stuff. It's looking good. This is looking like it's, you know, averaging 175-ish. Which is good. We only need this to get to 169. And it looks like we're there. All right, that's the end of the tinkering around bits, and so now we're in steady state, and this is around 180. Perfect. Okay, that was tricky. That was fun, and however, that is Purple Science. I'm pretty happy that we continue to figure this out. I mean, this is tricky. Okay, but there is one more thing that we have to look at, which is if I copy this stuff, how does that fit in here? Oh, they're actually pretty short. Okay, but we need to get 8, which I think we said we could do. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that is okay. However, we don't have space for the oil processing, which is also going to need beacons probably. Right, let's put this back to items per minute. Let's remember 169, so let's put this back up and let's take a look at what petroleum gas is going to look like. So we're going to use advanced oil processing. We're going to consume the heavy oil by cracking it. We're going to consume the light oil by cracking it. And so we are going to need, let's see, this can be 10. Okay, so we are going to need a fair amount of oil refinery and cracking stuff. That will take up some space. So I think what that means is when we lay out, the Purple Science, I think what we're going to end up doing is we'll keep 4. So we'll get rid of this stuff. We'll do 4. And then oil processing, or maybe we'll put the. Actually, what we can do is we can move these down on this side somewhere. We can do the advanced oil processing here, and then we can get. Where's my other thing? We want the grid. And then we want the path. Okay, so then we'll do the advanced oil processing stuff here. And we can do it all for 1, and then we'll get another one of these and we'll put it up here. And that gives us enough room to weave the input belts in on this side, or, you know, potentially do some mixing and matching of belts on these sides. So I think that's going to work fine. I think that's going to work out fine, and that's how we'll do it. And so if we come back to our reference architecture, I think what that means is, oh, these are set up in a weird way, but I think we can get rid of this. I think what we do is we get this and put it here, and we get this and put it here, and then we can compress these down. Okay, because we're just going to need two things like this for the purple sides. Okay, and let's see, should we go ahead and just do the quick design here? The answer to that question is no, we should not. This is something that should have been left as a problem for future Mystic Fish. I started to get into it, and the so-called, quote, quick design for the oil processing turned out to be not so quick. So we'll save that for its own little episode. I may do that next, just because I think it will have some things in common with some of our other oil processing. So we're going to end the episode here. And as always, we'll get the rest of the blueprints updated and published along with the episode. But that's what we have for today. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And until then, bye.